One of the great benefits of investing in a franchise is the fact that when you do, you then receive a detailed step-by-step guideline on how to duplicate these proven brand systems. You receive these guidelines through a manual called Operations Manual and a series of days and weeks of training where the franchisor and their teams teach you how to operate the business so that whatever experience the customers have in the original brand, you actually can duplicate and simulate in any unit that you may open thereafter. This is a great benefit because when it comes to business, there are two parts to it. One of them is the way in which you are able to sell a product or a service to consumers that consumers would like enough to exchange money for that product or service. And so the franchise or the franchisor has already solved that problem, that business problem, or of being able to innovate or create such a product or service. And so they provide a very detailed manual on step by step how to reproduce that proven brand that brings revenue to you. However, these are only half of the processes a business needs to be able to succeed in the long term. Because it is great to have a brand that brings revenue, but revenue is not profit. And so the systems that bring you the revenue are not exactly the systems that bring you the profit. And here is where it comes the need that you have to have a management manual. And today's topic on why you need a management manual and what should be in that management manual. And why does the franchisor not provide that information so that you can more than likely, and I said not secure, not be for sure, but it will be more likely that you'll be successful in your business. So let's go ahead and get started, and let's talk about first of all why the franchisor does not provide this management manual or this set of procedures that you need. And the reason the franchisor does not provide that is actually two main reasons. The first one is for them to provide all of that management manual and all the systems that come in that, they will have to invest a lot more money in people, in processes, in development and training. And therefore, they will have to charge you a lot more money because in reality, what the other half that's missing, that management side, is literally a business degree in franchise management. And so they will have to charge you a lot more to be able to provide that. And the second reason that they do not provide this information is because of liability. If they were to get involved into those other management systems that are missing, then they will be liable for how you execute those systems or not. At this point, the franchisor, when they provide you with a brand, they are liable to make sure that whatever product or service that you are providing, that they are actually requiring you to provide, is safe and it is proper for consumers to not only experience but eat, in case if it's a food service system or a service, etc. They're liable to make sure that those procedures and processes and products are safe. And so for those two reasons, they don't provide that. Now, what am I talking about? What are these management systems that I'm talking about? Well, we make them into three big buckets, okay? The first one is the system to hire and retain great people. The second one is the systems for you to increase sales year over year. And I'm going to get a little bit more detail in each one of these. And the third one is the systems to control waste and increase and maximize your profitability. Now, you can see how important these systems are. And these are the systems that your leaders, your unit managers and your unit assistant managers must be executing day in and day out so that you can have not only a business that brings you revenue, but also a business that brings you profit. So as you can see, it is very important that you have these systems in place and that they are as accurate and complete and proven as the ones from the brand. And you need to have them in place so that your people can actually follow these procedures and successfully and consistently develop and produce consistent results in your business. So let's talk about what each of these systems are and why should they be in a management manual. And the reason is because that way your people, you have a place where you can then go to and use to train your existing and future leaders. Because the reality is that there is turnover. And if you don't have a particular place or tools for you to train the systems to your new managers and your new leaders, then there will be inconsistencies and things will get lost along the way, which is why a franchisor produces and provides a an operations manual of sorts. Now, it used to be that they give it to you in a manual format, in a binder that you will have in the unit. More and more these days, these franchisors are putting that operations manual and guides online. Either way, you know that if you needed to teach one of your employees how to produce a product or a service for your customers, you know that you are able to go either to a an ops manual or an online source that will tell you exactly how to do it, and that way is how you can train your people. So the same reason why you need a management manual, and here's a place where you can put all of your leadership and your management processes so that you can train your leaders to do the procedures consistently. So let me go into an example of one of them that you need. One of the business processes that you need to have and define so you can train and coach and then follow up with your leaders. So going back to the systems and processes, the management processes to hire and retain great people, you need to be able to provide your leaders with a very clear guideline of how to manage the employee life cycle. What do I mean by the employee life cycle? Well, how to hire your people, how to onboard your people, how to train your people, how to give them raises, how to evaluate their performance, how to recognize them, and of course, how to discipline them. All of that is the employee life cycle. And, if need be, how to terminate them. All of these business processes are the systems and processes that you need to provide, that you need to define and train your people on. Now, you can see how if you are able to have all those processes and procedures documented, that then you will be able to better and more consistently train your managers so that they can do these processes on your behalf in a consistent way, in a way that you will want them to do. Now, there is a second set of processes and procedures that should go in the management manual, and that is how to increase sales year over year. It is true that the franchisor will provide some sort of marketing. Now, depending on how much marketing fee you pay, they will give you regional or national marketing, but they're not going to come to your neighborhood, knocking on your neighbor's door, say, hey, come buy from, the franchisee over there. They're going to give you a more of a regional and national marketing. It will be up to you to make sure that you have systems in place for your managers, your teams, to be able to not only capture sales, but increase sales year over year. And you need to provide that, define it, document it, train it so that they are able to then learn it and then do it day in and day out. Another processes or procedures that you need to have documented is the custody of cash. If your business still collects cash today, that means that there has to be process and procedures, business procedures to protect that cash and make sure that that cash gets to the bank. So you see how important it would be to be able to have documentation on how to do a deposit, how to prepare it, how to take it to the bank, or how to prepare it in case you have a pickup system, how to manage the register, how to make sure that it balances out properly. All of these are procedures that need to be documented, defined, trained, coached, and followed up upon. And the best way to make sure that that happens is if you put them in a management manual. Okay. And let me give you a couple of examples of the last one, which is how to control waste and maximize your profits. Obviously, at the end of the day, we're in business to make money. And it is an important skill and ability for your managers to know exactly what they need to do to control the waste in your business so that you can maximize the profitability. Let me give you a couple of things. The two major expenses you have in your business is labor cost, product cost. Each one of those have several processes and procedures, many of them, as a matter of fact, that will ensure that you have the lowest cost of labor but the best possible service. The same thing with the product cost. How can you have the least amount of product cost but still provide great product and service to your customers? It requires abilities to go from how to make a schedule, how to follow up on the schedule, how to make sure that people are following up, what are the policies and procedures that need to be followed for doing a schedule so that you can maximize your labor. When it comes to your product, you need to know how to do inventory, how to do an order, how to look for waste, how do you look for theft. All of those processes and procedures, those are the business management procedures. And those are the ones that should go in your management manual. Now, the question is whether you are a franchisee or an independent business owner, you must have these procedures in place. So, if you are a franchisee, the franchisor provides your brand systems. If you are an independent business owner, you need to create your brand systems. But whether you are a franchisee or an independent business owner, you both need to document your business management systems so that your managers and your leaders, your shift leaders, your assistant managers, whatever titles your leaders in each of your units have, they need to know how to do this work. They need to know how to manage your business. They need to know how to lead their teams. They need to know how to increase sales, and they need to know how to maximize your profits. And the only way to do that is you teach them how to do that. Now, the process that it should follow is first, you as a franchisee and business owner must define what those systems are. You need to decide. You need to define them because you want to do it. You want them to do it in the way that you would do it. So first, clearly define what those processes and procedures are. That's number one. Number two, you need to document them. You need to put them in a place where it is consistently found, referenced, and trained from. That is what the management manual is. Once you define them and you document them in your management manual, then you train your team. Then you train your managers on how to follow these procedures. And then after that, once you've done it one time, all your job is to follow up and make sure that these systems are being executed. If you see something that is not being done right, pull up your management manual and review it with the team leaders. Once you see that something is needs to do a little bit better, well, you can then refer to that document. And that is a value in the importance of having a management manual. So my question to you is, do you have a management manual? Do you have all of your business processes documented and defined so that your leaders, the people that you want to delegate operations so that you can have time freedom, do you have that in place? If you don't, let me invite you to think of two potential things that you can do right now. Number one, you can schedule a call with our admissions office here at the American Franchise Academy to learn about the program that we have where we help you define your business systems and then put them all in a management manual. Okay, so that's option number one. If you want to do that and schedule a call with our admissions office, all you need to do is go to www.admissioncall.com, and I'm sure a friendly person is going to be right there to walk you through the programs that we have so that you can have the management manual that you need defined one time, and then you can duplicate it with all the units that you open thereafter. That's the first thing you can do. The second thing that you could do is you can join one of our multi-unit masterclasses. And the reason is a multi-unit focus is because if you're the one running one unit, as long as you know the systems, you're good to go. You know the systems, you're there day in and day out, and then you execute in those systems. But when you go and become a multi-unit franchisee or a multi-unit owner, you have to document the systems so that you can delegate them. So the second thing that you could do is join one of our quarterly masterclasses. All you have to do is go to www.multiunitmasterclass.com and register to the next masterclass so that you can learn all of these things I just discussed, but in much greater detail, so that you can learn what are the systems that you need to document, that you need to be able to define, document, train, coach, and delegate, so that all you have to do as a business owner is to follow up upon those. So if you rather do that, then all you need to do is go to www.multiunitmasterclass.com, and you're going to learn what you know you didn't know, and you're probably going to learn the things that you didn't know that you didn't know, and this will give you a very good pathways to start the process. I hope that this was useful to you. I hope that made you think about all the things that you know that you need to define, document, coach, and delegate, so that you can have the time and financial freedom that you want and deserve as a business owner. Thank you for being with me in this show, and we'll see you next week, where we'll come back with more information, knowledge, and tools to help you be successful. Thank you, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.